Okay, so Chasca is a character that is very, very heavily single target. Every single time I go into AoE with this character, I can already feel the drop off in her damage. So I figured now, hey, we actually have some serious AoE content. Let's see how Chasca can perform. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go against the first half here. It does boost her swirl damage, but I mean, come on, it's her swirl damage. I'm honestly not sure how many swirls, like, actually get affected by this. I genuinely don't know. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to do this team. And, don't know what my other team is. Alright, so here we go. We're going to get Elemental Burst, instantly restore HP. Let's go. I am using Bennett first here. I don't know how long Fiorina, or not Fiorina, who am I talking about? Chasca is on field for. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about. Yeah. So let's go ahead here. I was hoping that, you know, with the extra melt and reactions, we would actually see, you know, some better damage. Not really looking like that's the case. However, we're not looking bad either. Let's go ahead and let's see how good can we go. I do realize now I don't admit. Nope, not a Mavuika video. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Yeah, okay. 80,000 from Chasca there. All right, not bad. Let's go ahead, keep doing this. And yeah, I mean, we can say that this is Mavuika, but I don't necessarily want to discredit. Like, you know, she's doing pretty well here. Yeah, my Mavuika, I'm doing a very bad combo of using her E-skill after or as soon as I switch into her. So it's not great because I'm actually just screwing myself out of melts and stuff with my Mavuika. I mean, that's one thing. Because it's not like I'm sat here like, oh, Mavuika's carrying the team. It's more of like a Chasca has access to Mavuika. Chasca has access to Mavuika. She works very well with Mavuika. Chasca is the reason why we don't have to run another Natlan character on the team. So saying that, you know, oh, it's all Mavuika, even if it is true, it's still not really that true. And I do think that Chasca does add value here. We did clear that within a decent amount of time. I don't necessarily know how I'm going to plan to do this one because, I mean, I don't... Yeah, like, that is what I would expect from this. Oh, and I don't have the E-skill up. Okay, so that's interesting. 123,000. I mean, when you're able to do reactions, it's not bad, right? We're not looking bad when we're able to do reactions. However, I don't know how well this goes. I'm going to be honest. I feel like I need to use Mavuika's Q, or we'll do this. We'll do this. Yeah. All right, boom. Then we have that. Then we can go ahead and we can do this, right? So now everyone is doing their things. And, you know, Mavuika's going ahead and she's raining down, you know, bullets on them. You know, is it bad? I don't want to say it's good, but it's not awful. Like, Chasca's not doing completely. I'm going to do this. No, I'm going to do this. Yeah, let's do this. Sure, Chasca can, yeah, great. Basically, now we get to stay at 200 Night Soul, which is why I did that. I don't think that's necessarily bad. I mean, we saw Chasca hit for 120,000 even in an AoE situation. Now, what my plan was mainly for is to have the cryo hit possibly melt, you know, because that, you know, does do decent damage. I think it's a 1.2 multiplier, but my Chasca does have a decent amount of EM, along with my C-Lolly being on instructors. That's giving her more EM. So when Chasca does reactions, it is heavily increased because I have so much EM on my Chasca. So that's one thing to note. Nevi is just showing out, I gotta say. Like, I'm using him on this team. It's been a bit since I used him on this team, and man, even in single target, this guy is he still feels strong, even in single target on this team. Utterly an insane character, right? So that's why, just to point out, like, the difference between the two. Because, like, if I put Nevi in that AoE situation, we're not questioning whether he's good in there. And then we're questioning whether he's good in single target. And, well, let's put it like this. Yeah, he is. He was very good right there. Let's pick max HP since none of our Chasca characters scale with it, right? Great for showcasing. Let's go ahead, gain the energy. Okay, apparently we won't. Let's go ahead and do this then. Okay. So, little scuffed. All right. Not bad, not bad. We'll be fine, we'll be fine. We will be fine, chat. Don't worry about it. All right, so here we are. We got a little bit of guys there, so Chasca's gonna just pick them off, right? Pick them off. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we're still doing not awful damage, right? Let's pop the Q. Q is only like level 6, I think left it at. So let's go ahead. Let's do this, right? We got all this. Let's pop the Q with Mavuika, right? E-skill, okay. Not C-Lolly. Oh, yeah, C-Lolly's not giving the Thrilling Tales buff that she normally would be. This team is a little weird. I don't necessarily know the best rotation because I want Mavuika to melt, because if you, like, Mavuika does just too much damage to not have her do a melt reaction on this kind of team. So that's the main reason why I'm doing this. You could possibly, I mean, yeah, dude, like, yeah, I mean, that's 290. If I had gotten the melt proper on Mavuika there, that would have been fine. I mean, we're doing good damage here. Then we're, yeah, I mean, sure, Mavuika C2, whatever you want to say about it. But, like, Chasca ain't doing bad here. Let's be honest. She's not doing bad. Oh, wait, maybe she's doing bad. Okay. Maybe she's doing bad. Okay, well, come on. Stop that. Stop that. Okay. Maybe she's doing bad. The reason being, C2 Mavuika, and we're at almost 1:30 clear time. Yeah, not great. Not great. Yeah, it's one of the main reasons. I don't have Chasca's weapon. That is one thing I gotta mention just outright. I like comparing characters with their weapon, but I do have C2 Mavuika. And if I was really being fair to, Chasca or any of the other DPSs, I wouldn't be comparing Chasca at a C2 Mavuika level with C2 Mavuika against, like, yeah, man, she really doesn't. Also, look at Nevi, man. I literally was just talking through that. Yeah, thanks, Nevi. You're great, buddy. Love you. I mean, that's tough. That is tough. Like, Chasca is not meant for AoE, obviously, but, like, you don't get to decide when you have Chasca and AoE. Now, obviously, this Abyss you do, but a lot of the times, you'll notice if you've looked at Abysses, they can go from, oh, single target AoE, or single target AoE, single target, or AoE, then single target, right? So you don't get to really decide a lot of the times when you're going against AoE or when you're going against single target. I'm going to have to say this is pretty bad performance. Like, considering I have C2 Mavuika, this seems like pretty bad performance to me. I mean, it's to be expected. Chasca, I've always, as soon as two enemies appear, it's like her damage gets really affected by that, because a lot of the times when two enemies appear, she doesn't get to do reactions, which really hurts her overall. It's tough, man. I don't know what to say. Like, that's not great. Now, we're only in 2 enemy territory, so let's go ahead and just, we're going to have that, and then, sure, we'll have this. I do just think that, even if you had C0 Mavuika, it's probably... Oh, okay. We switched enemies. Yeah, I mean, 25,000 there. I'm trying to look at her damage numbers to see if maybe we can see some spicy numbers, but she does so many damage numbers at once, it's really hard to see whether you have, like, good damage numbers. Yeah, I mean, that's... Sure. But, okay. Guys, who did that chamber? Who did that chamber? That is a moment where my C2 Mavuika is a little too OP, right? She basically stole that chamber. All right, let's go ahead. Instead of, melting and doing all that stuff, we're going to go ahead and we're going to, just restore HP, sure. And let's go ahead and gain some energy here. We're going to, gain energy, sure. Let's use the E skill. Yep, there we go. So that way we're not vaping, or not melting, I mean. And also it is a legitimate thing that if I maybe had Hydro here, that we'd be applying for Mavuika, which Mavuika can do good damage at C0 off field. There's no way around it. She's doing good damage off field at C0 even. There we go. Let's go ahead. E skill, then Q skill. Okay, we didn't miss the melt there. I've been trying to intentionally do that. Okay, so 129, like, when she's able to do reactions, she does really well, but when she doesn't, she's not. Like, it's always been like this, you kind of just, I don't really think her teams are really there. Like, obviously here, you'd be melting with Mavuika, right? And Mavuika at C0 can do 1,000,000 damage, so it's a little tough to say, like, even in this, like, sort of deal. She didn't do it! Alright, Q? Okay, there you go, alright. Yeah, I mean, it's just as simple as, like, if I take another character into that situation, there's a good chance they'll do better, right? I can't, like, just look past her. Like, we could go ahead and we can just... I don't want to take Nevi into there. I mean, we could take Arlecchino, but she's C2. It's a little... I mean, we had C2 Mavuika. It's tough, but I do think, Chasca does benefit a lot from having Mavuika as, like, one of her best teammates. And it's not like Mavuika is one of her best teammates purely because Mavuika does so much damage. Yes, that's really good for, Chasca. However, Mavuika is actively buffing Chasca in a way that a lot of other characters can't, with the way that she's giving 40% damage bonus off-field pyro application, which we would want to see her melt, you know, vape hits. You know, like there is, let's do a different team. Let's go ahead and grab a different team so we can have more Bennett uptime, and we're gonna do this team, right? Let's go ahead and do that. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this team. I just want to see this team, you know, in action. I think this team is a lot better, you know, than possibly the Sea Lolly team. I don't know. I'm not that high on Sea Lolly plus Chasca, if I'm being entirely honest. I've never really been that high on it. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. And then here we should see some pretty crazy melts. There's 50,000 right there. And, you know, Fiorina buffing Chasca universally is very, very nice. You know, I do like that. You know, my Fiorina is C1, so her buffs are a little bit higher than what, you know, maybe Sea Lolly was providing. Now, Sea Lolly, I definitely do feel like is the better option for this team, purely because of the way that, you know, 56,000. We definitely saw 100,000, by the way, from the Hydro hit there. 106,000 right there. You know, 120,000 maybe? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this does just work very, very well as a team overall. Like, if you care about looking at Chasca's damage rather than, you know, Mavuika's damage, this does definitely work way better comparatively to, you know, the Sea Lolly team. However, I do think the Sea Lolly team overall, in terms of team damage, does give you better damage, just because Melt with Mavuika doing that much damage, it eliminates Chasca's AoE weakness more than what we just saw there with Fiorina, right? Because the reason why I say that is because Mavuika can hit multiple enemies very easily with her Q skill, and being able to do 1,000,000 damage plus to multiple enemies with her Q skill really helps out Chasca. Possibly sometimes you can even eliminate some enemies. You know, that just depends on whoever you use. But overall, yeah, certainly I do think that Chasca, very, very strong, but she's mainly strong in single target. We could do a single target run. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and do a single target run. One thing I will say is that I really wanted to see, like, Chasca do some good reactions on the Sea Lolly team. She wasn't really, but once again, I do think that it's just better to have Sea Lolly anyways, because I think it just genuinely increases Mavuika's damage so much that Chasca's damage matters less, and overall that's kind of a good thing, which is sad to say, but it is a true statement, I think. I just realized this is gonna buff Chasca, isn't it? So just for, I guess we can check. I mean, this is the best AoE character in the game, possibly. I mean, maybe you could say Mavuika, but yeah, Mavuika probably, because I mean, even in this stage, Mavuika's already cleared those guys, and then now we're on these guys. Let's go ahead. Hello, balls? Hello? My ball? Hey, stop it. All right, here we go. We are gonna get the damage, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident that we're getting the damage here. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna just murder him. Let's be honest. Boom. There you go. All right, now let's see. What can we do, Chasca? Okay. 100,000, I think, from the cryo hits. Maybe. Oh, he's dead. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go ahead, kill this guy, and then we're gonna do this so we can see Chasca handle one guy better. 50,000 there, no reactions. No reactions again. I mean, this is just me eyeballing it. I could be doing reactions. I don't think I am, but I could be. That's one thing. And then, okay, we have this. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Is this the last guy? Maybe it is. It might be. Oh, well, okay. Well, we'll see a little bit of Chasca. And there you go. I didn't really see. We didn't crit also on that. Yeah, it worked all right. You know, obviously, Chasca, that is her best scenario. My Mavuika C2, so it definitely, like C2 Mavuika just outright deleting some of the enemies for her definitely made it may not be a thing that Mavuika can do at C0. However, I wouldn't be surprised if she can also do it at C0, you know, but that's single target, and you don't get to just say, oh, well, in single target she's good, because you don't get to choose the opponents that you're facing. And when you're in AoE, it's going to matter that she's bad in AoE, right? And whichever half she's not on can't make up for her time loss. I mean, we still cleared this, you know, a lot of the AoE phases above 1:30, but then again, that's with C2 Mavuika, who is also decreasing the defense of the enemies by 20% when we're using her, right? So overall, Chasca in AoE, I mean, I've kind of known it. It's pretty bad. Some people don't like what I show, what I'm talking about in the video, like, but I'm showing you guys that she's not really performing that well in the game. Like, I'm not just gonna sit here be like, oh, Chasca, so bad in AoE, man, so bad, and just this is all you're seeing in the entire video. I'm gonna be honest. I'm showing you guys, if you know, I'm showing you guys that Chasca didn't really perform well up to our expectations, or what. Well, she performed up to my oh, probably not, because she did seriously only get like 1:30 in one of those. So that's not good. That's really not good. I like Chasca. I like using her, but I just, you know, you can't escape the elephant in the room that when she's in AoE, she gets like way worse. It's like, honestly, if we're in AoE, I'd rather play Mavuika. Like, it's not even a situation of like, oh, Mavuika's better than your DPS. No, Chasca actively gets hurt if you're against AoE. And I mean, you do technically have that option to you, right? Mavuika is strong enough to be just ran with Bennett and Citlali. That will fully recover her fighting spirit. Well, maybe not fully. I wouldn't say that. I'm using C2, so I don't necessarily know. I didn't really care to use only Citlali, right, with Mavuika. But you should recover 99.9% of your energy, right? Or your fighting spirit, if you will. So yeah. It is an option, so I mean, you could say like, oh, well, it doesn't matter because you have Mavuika who can handle AoE on her best team, right? And I do think that this is her best team, and sadly it is because probably Citlali increases Mavuika's damage more. So yeah, overall, I mean, I like Chasca. I wish she was better, honestly. So it's level 7. I really do love her design. If I'm being honest, like I love this character's design and the way that she looks. I wish she was a little better in AoE. That's the main issue that I have with this character, is that as soon as you go into AoE, it's always like, oh no, why? So yeah, I just can't really say that Chasca in AoE is even like, is she mid? I don't think she's mid. I think she's outright bad. Like, I mean, sure, she cleared it in 1:30, but once again, with C2 Mavuika, it's a tough call. It's a tough call because I'm obviously not playing like super sweaty mode. Like, I could easily have gotten melts on all my Mavuika bursts or whatever, right? Because for a big time of that, I was not, you know, getting melts on my Mavuika burst because I was pressing the E skill before I did it. I probably would want to press Mavuika's E skill immediately during the rotation and then do the Bennett Citlali thing, but you know, that's just how I did it. So yeah, overall, nah. So overall, Chasca in AoE does not seem very, very good at all. I'm gonna be honest. I think at best you could say she's all right. I think she's an all right, you know, gives her that. But I don't think, I mean, I am also comparing with Aqua Simulacra, which I think is like a 10% worse than her weapon. I don't know. But, you know, that is a thing to factor in. Like, normally, I like to compare characters with their weapon, right? You know, with their weapon. And for Chasca's case, it is with her weapon rather than with her C1. Because her C1 is a very dumb constellation, but that's for another day. For another time, maybe when she reruns, I'll talk about her constellations again. But yeah. Overall, though, I mean, she still was okay. You know, like, she did it with C2 Mavuika, right? It's not like I'm using Yoimiya where it's like she is basically dead in multi-target. It sometimes feel like, depending on what team your Yoimiya is on, because you could run the exact same team with Yoimiya and just have Mavuika carry her through multi-target. That's basically the meta we are in right now. Mavuika does so much damage, you just let her carry you through whatever content you need. That's basically the meta that we're in. So yeah. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. If you really enjoyed the video, feel free to become a member. It's $5 a month. You get access to videos 8 hours early. Typically, you know, it's been higher than 8 hours early, like more like 12, 10-ish, depending on who you asked. But hey, I'm only going to promise 8 hours early because sometimes I stay up till 12 before I finish uploading a video, all right? So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Goodbye.